Oh, just got a little Starbucks on my way to drive more than you know. I'm actually a little bit late, to be honest. They'll be all right. I don't want to do my videos till tomorrow, but I can do a top 10 list. But I thought to myself, all right, what are we going to do the top 10 list about this week? Because you have to understand there's horses that I think are going to be great horses, like Punch the Clock. And I could be wrong, but I think today was her first flat mile at any speed, and she won the set and looked very, very good, to the point where she put a smile on James's face. We were both had a very long conversation before, and we have to both remind ourselves, she looks like she can go fast because she can. She looks like she can do everything you need her to do because she will. But she's 6 or 7 weeks behind everybody, mentally and physically. There's no two ways about it. So no matter how smart she is and how talented she is, you can't hide from that experience. So, we had a very guarded training mile today with her, and she won the set, and she was great. But I can't put her on a top 10 list ahead of horses that have been doing it great for weeks and weeks and weeks. That would be unfair. Just because I'm giddy and happy that she was good doesn't mean that she gets ahead of these horses. So when I sat down to do my top 10 list, I said, okay, if they didn't go good this week, they're not going on the top 10 list. No matter what, I can't do it. I still had 23 horses. So you wonder why I was happy all week. Flat tire, didn't care. The horses were flat in Ontario Tuesday. That hurt a little bit, but they bounced back good today for the most part. We've just had a pretty good week. Now, hopefully, we cap it off with a good night tonight. That would be great. I know that Odds on Delray raced pretty good today. Finished fourth. You'd see he lost a lot of ground when he came out of that last turn, and it's just the way it shook down. So, you know what? Let me talk about, though, the horses I scratched off. Now, obviously, simple math for me to get from 10 to 23. 13 horses had to be crossed out. Now, I circled. I didn't cross out the ones that I just couldn't put on the list because they weren't awesome today, or they didn't win their sets today. Horses that just couldn't make the top 10, but I couldn't go without mentioning them, like Drebin. Drebin, I think, is one of our better horses and was awesome today. So good. The reason he was awesome, 1, I felt he was comfortable. Important. 2, he behaved himself at the back of the pack. This was the Punch the Clock set. And when I realized James had ended up on the front with Punch the Clock, I saw him moving back to the front and nobody was coming. I'm like, oh my God, we don't really want to have this filly on the front. And I don't want to go roaring past her to cover her up. So I'm just going to come slow and let her hear me coming. And as I get to her wheel, see what she does. And you get to see her ears. And as soon as she heard me coming, it was game on, and that's what I wanted to see. But I didn't want to go too hard. We went a mile and 2, exactly where James and I wanted to go, 2:45. We were both on the same page as far as what we wanted to do with her today. Drebin was great today. Very, very good today. Now, in fairness, I guess I could have put him on the list, but he had a couple of weeks where he was so, made a couple of breaks, but today was very, very good. Punch the Clock was great. I think I had a couple more circled here. Did I not? No, I just had those 2. Okay. Well, we can talk about the ones that... It's cold right now, -6 before the wind, and it's howling. I'm going to talk about a couple of ones we crossed off. Again, Easy in the Turns, a winner in her set on Tuesday. I think she was second today and looked very, very good. But again, this was a tough list to make. Vaquero Blue Chip won his set on Wednesday. Again, had been off because he was castrated. I just couldn't put him on ahead of these horses. And this was a tough list to make. Lover's Play circled the field and looked amazing on Wednesday. Again, couldn't put her on. Gypsy Hill, a horse that I truly believe is one of the best horses we have in the Ohio barn. A very, very nice horse. Very nice trotter. I couldn't put him on. Halley in the Clouds, second today to Winter Bells in the fastest mile we've gone with the babies yet. I think 2:28, 2:29. I think that was the fastest mile. Couldn't put her on. Pickpocket. Again, I'll just tell you what. Somebody asked me quick the other day, who's your best horse? I said, geez, I don't know. There's so many nice ones. I don't want to mention any names because a lot of them are on my top 10 list, but Pickpocket was in the mix. I said I could see him being our best horse maybe. He's durable. He's built well. His conformation is good. He's strong. He's quick. He doesn't get tired. I trained him last week. Man, he was awesome. Really Don't Care has been absolutely fantastic. Didn't put her on the list. Royal Emeralds is as strong a 2-year-old as we have right now on either side of the border. She is a beast on the track. Didn't make it. Sedona Hill, one of our best fillies, Ohio fillies for sure. She's been training great. I didn't put her on it. And Sweeney was my last. He was number 11. I just think he's been doing things so good and so professional in Ohio. Aside from, the stupid stuff he does in the barn and got loose on us once already. He gets scared, and when he gets scared, he actually gets dangerous. Not mean, but it would be like he's almost like a deer or something. When he gets scared, he just bolts, and there's nothing you can do. He's a strong colt. So you got to watch him and be very careful. My apologies to our new employee in Ohio. I don't know the lady's name. She's clearly worked around good horses her whole life. A very old school caretaker, really, really nice lady. She's taking care of Sweeney, and I told her, just please be very, very careful around this horse, and if he looks like he's going to overpower you, just give up, because he will. He'll overpower you. So, and what I mean by that is, if he's like a caretaker wants to take care of the horse, and if they get scared and they start to freak out on the cross ties, sometimes you can grab them, hold on to them, and control them. Not him. Just leave him alone until he settles. He gets like Hulk strength. He just gets crazy. But that's just green. On the track, he doesn't do any of that. Just in the barn, he's just learning how to do things, and a lot of what he does is backwards, but when he's on the track, he certainly doesn't go backwards. So Sweeney, horse again, I love. So let's get right to it. Who are the 10? Who are the top 10? And top 10, I guess, horses I like this week, and all 10 of these horses have obviously loads of potential. But I had to make it 10, so I'm going to go number 10, Don't Talk About Bruno. This is Crantini's brother now. Crantini trained amazing Tuesday and then again today. Him and Brace for Landing were very, very good trainers this week. And you guys know, you've well documented, Macho Martini, we bought him, we sold him, Lunatic a little bit, Crantini throwing his head, being an idiot, and poor Bruno got gelded and never did a thing wrong. Doesn't throw his head, doesn't act up, doesn't do anything wrong. He's a nice colt. This is the he's an alarm detector, isn't he, Bruno? Was he my MVP? No, he's an alarm detector, brother to Crantini, I think. Yeah. Yes, he is. Looked really, really good on Tuesday. Looked great today, and actually looked so good in the first set that Harry actually came up beside me later on in the day and said, who did Johnny go with in the first? I think. I said, I had Ready for Landing. I think you, Bruno. I said, that was Crantini. I was beside him with Crantini. I said, he had his brother. He goes, geez, he looked good. He's looked great this week and is really, really coming on. Johnny does a great job with him. Number 9, I put on here, and I was torn because could I put Gypsy on? Could I put people on ahead of her? Yes, but she's won the last 3 or 4 training sets she was in. Pull the Shoes. This is a green shoe filly out of a sister to 6-pack, and very happy with her. I don't think she's one of our strongest fillies yet. She's got weight to put on, but every time I went by her, I'd fed her a little bit or gave her a bran mash. I was done driving the other night late, 11 o'clock at night, so Jason would have fed supper with Cindy and Phil around, 7. And I gave her another bran mash it had to be 11:15. When I come in the next morning, all her breakfast was gone. So that mash was gone and all her breakfast. She will start to put on weight, and I really, really like this filly, and I don't know, she's not going to go out and train in 225 right now. She's a little timid in the straights. Right in the heart of the stretch, she's made breaks at the wire, and she will. You got to watch her. Little timid in the straights, but can and will do her work well. Just a very, very nice filly, and I like what I see. I like the progression with her, and the fact that she did win her last 3 or 4 sets means I'm kind of obligated to put her on here anyway. So Pull the Shoes just looks very, very good of late. Memory and Imagination comes in at number 8. He's making his way up the list. I beat him the other day with a Lover's Play, but they never saw me coming. It was starting to get muddy, and I circled the whole field from 7th, and I was coming with a full head of steam, and I saw Daryl look over. By the time Daryl even saw me in the rearview mirror, I was gone. Cleared to the lead, and she trotted away. Memory and Imagination was coming to her down the lane. He looked very, very good. This is Father Patrick's have been good to us so far. Long year to go yet, but the Father Patrick's we have just look really, really good. And Memory and Imagination is certainly making waves in the burn now. Really, really impressed what I've seen. What I've seen from the Father Patrick's. Number 7, Venice Blue Chip. any one of these horses could end up at number 1 very late in the season also. This is a very powerful filly. She does everything right. She never gets tired. I just love what I see from her. I think she's going to be a really, really nice horse for us. And I think she is our best Ohio bred pacing filly. There's one other filly I like quite a bit, but I don't think she wants any part of Venice Blue Chip, and obviously that's on Fancy Like. Number 6, Arson. Arson I won the set with the other day. He has his quirks. He is a little moody sometimes, but when you put him to task and really put the fire to his feet, so to speak, he can dance. And he was very good the other day. Showed a lot of professionalism. I put him on the front on a very deep, muddy track. I walked them through the middle half, and then we sprinted home. Cowboy by the Sea sat right on my helmet. Couldn't quite get to me down the lane. But again, it's not like that's an upset. This is a 3/4 brother to Pure Country. We get some good horses over there, and I've been asking James. Mohawk doesn't race next week, and I've been asking James if he'd like to come to Ohio. That's a big ask. Hey, and aside from him being my brother, we're asking the leading driver in Canada to get in a car, drive for 4.5 hours to train 2-year-olds at Northfield Park. It's a big ask. Anyway, he may come over, and I hope he does, because I'd like to have him sit behind Cowboy and Arson and all our best horses, just to see what he thinks, because I'm a little biased. I've gone with a lot of them, watched a lot of them, and I think quite highly of them, and Arson has been very, very good. Number 5, Cowboy by the Sea. I might have beat him the other day, but Cowboy's been awesome of late. Really, really happy and impressed with what I've seen from Cowboy by the Sea the last little while. He's just looked really professional and really good, and understands the difference between getting there and almost getting there. And he didn't quite get there the other day, but not for lack of trying. We were really smoking down the lane, and it was muddy. Number 4, I think these top 4, there's not going to be any huge shocks here. Number 4, Affection. Maybe a shock that she's in number 4. She's just been awesome. She's been going with the pacers. Like when I sprinted home with Arson and Cowboy was coming to me, to the right of me on the outside, who was out the whole way just sitting there, was Affection. This is a filly with... She just looks... I don't even think I could be heartbroken. I would be shocked if she didn't turn out to be a nice filly. She just the way she goes about her work in such a, like I say, a matter-of-fact way, like no big deal. It's just impressive to see from a young horse, and she is a very, very impressive filly. Number 2. Where is number 3 at? Number 3 is Irresistible Sun. This guy and Gypsy, I think, are going to duke it out all the way through the rest of the season. We got some nice trot colts there. Sweeney, I think, is a very good colt, but he's got to step forward even from right now to come in to get to Irresistible Sun and Gypsy Hill. I think both of those colts are very good. Irresistible Sun, very gritty, very tough colt, and looked great again the other day. Now, number 1 and number 2, again, a couple of horses that I thought were they've done it so well for so long, it would be very surprising to me to see them falter in any way. And number 2, Winter Bells. I got everything my own way with Hallie today. We were going a good mile. I knew we were going to be right around 30 or a little quicker. And in my way, which I meant was I got over to the half in 119. So we were coming a half in 110, 111, which is a strong last half with the wind right in your face hard down the lane in a deep track. Yeah, that was a taxing mile. And I almost, when we come out of the turn, I just cinched her up because I said, they're not going to be able to go with her. And we come out of the turn, and all of a sudden, there's just blur. And it was just Winter Bells, just blew right by me. And I come back on down the lane, Winter Bells, I like when they're merciless and they drive away, but it's also nice to see them reserved a little bit. And Winter Bells just kind of coasted by and put me away and was kind of looking at me down the lane. She was very, very good and has been good for so long, not without her quirks, right? She's a little goofy sometimes. She has made the odd break. She can pull sometimes. She's not perfect, but when she's on, she's a nice filly. Really, really nice filly. And that leads me to number 1. He was off a little bit because we had to operate on his throat. Lonely Lakewood. I just don't see how this horse isn't a good horse. His family is impressive. His half-sister took a 2-year-old mark of 51 as a 2-year-old. She sold for, I don't know, $350. I'm torn. I don't know if there's $500 or $350, but it was a lot of money at the end of her 3-year-old season at Harrisburg to be a broodmare, and that was Selfie Queen. Lonely Lakewood, we bought him. He was a ridgeling. We castrated him right away, and it's just been I think Johnny's gone with him every week he's trained in his life, maybe, except for every week he's trained for sure. Johnny has gone with him, and just has looked unbelievable. I better call that guy back. That was a paddock judge. Has looked unbelievable. The horse circled the field today. He just does everything you want. You just do whatever you want with him, and he's a killer. So, Lonely Lakewood, easy number one. I'm looking at everybody. He's the best right now. He is the best, and he does it in the most unassuming way. That's what I love about these. At least the Father Patricks we have now are just quiet. Our Affection and Lonely Lakewood, just super chill. So that's my top 10 list. I'm pulling into Mohawk, but I got to call the paddock judge back because he's wondering, hey, where are you at? I'm going to call him back right now. Take care.